Hello lovelies, it's your girl Feolua, and if this is the first time on this channel, you are highly welcome. To my returning subscribers and returning viewers, thank you for sticking with me. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I made these 6 pieces shoulder dart bustier with side pocket and a puff sleeve. If this is what you're interested in learning, kindly watch this video to the end. So guys, I've gone ahead to draw out my border lines, and the upper part is going to serve as the starting line. Now from the starting line, I went ahead to mark out my shoulder to bust points. I marked my shoulder to under bust. I marked my shoulder to waist. I marked my shoulder to hip. And lastly, I went ahead to mark my shoulder to gown length. So when marking this gown length, I added additional 1 inch for the joining of the down part. Next, after the mark out, I went ahead to draw a line across each point.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top.
Now on the starting line, I marked my shoulder divided by 2. Then for the neck width, I used 2.75. For the neck depth, I also used 2.75. So guys, don't forget to get your neck width. You're going to say your bust measurement divided by 8 plus 1.5. You approximate your answer and divide by 2. So that's going to give you your accurate neck width. So now, after marking it down, I use my cuff to draw it out the neck shape. So now on the bust line, I went ahead to mark my bust pan divided by 2. Then I took the measurement down to the hemline. After that, I went ahead to join the points together to form a straight line. So now at the waist side, to the side going to the center front, I went ahead to mark 0.5. Then to the other side, I marked 1.5. So that is a total of 2 inches. Next, I put the same measurement on the other bust, which is 0.5 to the side going to the center front and 1.5 to the side. I went ahead to connect the points together, just as it's in doing. So after that, I went ahead to place a zero point 0.5 and 1.5 on the hip line and also on the hemline. Then connect everything together. After connecting the points together, guys, on the bust line, I went ahead to go down by half an inch. Then I used my curve ruler to connect as you see me doing. So now on the shoulders line, I went ahead to divide the measurements I have, then marked the midpoint. After that, I went ahead to connect it to meet the bust point. So now from this point here, I went ahead to mark 2 inches for the dart intake. So my 2 inches is stopping exactly on my shoulder measurement. So I'm going to use it like that. Then I connect it back to meet the bust line. But before connecting it, I went ahead to go up by half an inch. Then I use my curve to connect as you see me doing. So guys, this shaded part is the part we're going to cut out. So guys, on the shoulder line, don't forget we took out 2 inches for the dart intake. Now we're going to remark our shoulder measurement and add the 2 inches back. So now this point here is going to be our new shoulder measurement. From this point, I went down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then I connect it back to meet the neck line. So now on this point here, I went ahead to mark my armhole depth. And don't forget to get your armhole depth. You're going to see your bust measurements divided by 6 plus 1.5. After marking it, I went ahead to draw a line across it. So this line is going to serve as the chest line. Now, the same measurement we have on the shoulder line, we are going to place it on the chest line. After that, I connect the points to form a straight line. Next, on the armhole depth, I went ahead to mark the midpoint. Then I went in by 0.75. Now on the chest line, I went ahead to mark my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5, which is going to serve as the seam allowance. Then connect the 3 points together with my curve ruler. So guys, now on the waistline, I went ahead to mark my waist measurement divided by 4 plus the 2 inches for that intake and additional 1.5, which will serve as the seam allowance. On the hip line, I also marked my hip measurement divided by 4 plus the 2 inches for that intake and 1.5 for the seam allowance. I went ahead to do the same thing on the M line, which is the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches for that intake and 1.5 for the seam allowance. After marking everything out, I went ahead to connect the points together. So guys, that's all about the drafting of the front pattern. Before you cut out a pattern, make sure you add additional half an inch at the shoulder side for the joining.
A heart speed to the city streets.
Now let's move to the back pattern. For the back pattern, I've gone ahead to mark out 1 inch for my zipper allowance, and I've also drawn out my starting line. Now on the starting line, which is starting from that 1 inch, I went ahead to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I also went ahead to mark out my shoulder to waist, my shoulder to hip, then my gown length. I also added 1 inch for the joining of the down part. So after marking it out, I went ahead to draw a line across each point. I'm sure you'll be wondering I did not mark out the shoulder to bust point. That is because we are not needing our bust point measurement in the back piece. Now on the shoulder line, I went ahead to mark my neck width of 2.75, then my neck depth of 1 inch, and I connect the points with my cuff ruler. After that, on this shoulder point, I came down by 1 inch, then connected back to meet the neckline. Now from this point, I went ahead to mark out my hammer depth of 7 inches, then draw a line across it, which is going to serve as the chest line. Now on the chest line, I place the same measurements I have on my starting line, then connect to form a straight line. So now on this chest line, I went ahead to mark my bust measurements divided by 4. Then on the armhole depth, I marked the midpoint and went in by 0.5. Now I'm going to use the curve ruler to connect the 3 points together. Next, on the waistline, I went ahead to mark my bust span divided by 2. Then I placed the same measurements on the hip line. And also on the hemline. After that, I went ahead to connect all points together to form a straight line. I place the same measurements on the chest line and connect it to meet the waistline. Now for our that intake, I went in on both sides by 0.5. After that, I took the measurement down to the hemline. After that, I went ahead to connect all points together. So now on the chest line, I came down by 1 inch. Then connect it to meet the waistline. Next, for the shoulder dart, I went ahead to mark my shoulder measurements, then divide it by 2. After marking the midpoint, I went ahead to connect it to meet the chest line, just as a simiding. So now, let's go ahead and place our round measurement. So on the chest line, I went ahead to mark my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5, which is going to serve as a seam allowance. On the waist, I marked my measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch dart intake and 1.5 for the seam allowance. On the hip line, I also marked my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for dart intake and additional 1.5 for the seam allowance. So I went ahead to do the same thing on the hem line, which is my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance and 1.5 for this seam allowance. After that, I went ahead to connect all points together. So guys, to eliminate our zip bulge, we are going to go in on the waistline by 0.5. After marking that, we are going to extend this point here. Don't forget the midpoint of our armhole depth. We are going to extend the line like so. Then you are going to connect it to meet the half-inch we went in on the waistline. after doing that, so from this point where we came in by 0.5, we are going to mark the 1 inch, that 1 inch for the zipper allowance. After marking it, you are going to connect it back as you see me doing. So by doing this method, we have been able to eliminate that zip bulge on the back piece. So now after doing that, on our waistline, we are going to replace this half an inch we took for the zip bulge. We are going to replace it back to our waist measurement. Then we connect it back as you see me doing. So guys, I went ahead to add additional half an inch at the shoulder line. That is going to help in joining both the front shoulder and the back shoulder together. So after making sure all the measurements are accurate, I went ahead to cut out my pattern. So guys, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like and leave a comment to let me know if this video was helpful, and also hit on the notification bell to stay updated on all my future content. This is the center back and this is the side back. Now after the cut out, this is what I have guys. This is the front piece and this is the back piece. So make sure you watch my next video on how I use this pattern to cut my fabric. Thank you for watching.